Hey, welcome to episode 507 of This is Gravel here on Gravel Guru. On today's episode, we talk about just getting out, riding, and having fun on the bike. We welcome Josh Sprague from Orange Mud on the show. That and more coming up. Hey, welcome Gravel Guru followers back to the studio here in downtown Emporia, Kansas for episode 507 of This is Gravel. Today joining me, we've got Neil on first to start on the show. Neil, how have you been, buddy?
Doing pretty good, Matt. I've been out riding my bike a little bit. Got to have fun this past weekend. Instead of doing Dirty Kanza, which I'm not going to lie, I missed this year because this year was going to be the year I rode with my high schoolers on the 100-miler. Instead, I got out and did the Macy's Apocalypse route, 80 miles, which just wore me out. I forget how hilly things are up that direction, but been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Other than that, so.
Yeah, it was an odd weekend here in Emporia, Kansas, without Dirty Kanza happening the first weekend after Memorial Day like it does every summer. And for me, I don't know about you, Neil, it was just odd. Because every time I got on social media, and understanding the studio where I spent a lot of time this last weekend is like 200 feet from the finish line of Dirty Kanza. For everybody watching out there, every time I got on social media on the phone, I really missed it. My memories were popping up from previous years, things like that. But it was such a different feeling that you step out the door, and it didn't even feel like it was supposed to be that weekend. You know, all the cars with bike racks weren't on the street. So it was really just this odd mix of feelings for me, at least.
Yeah, I rolled down Saturday morning before I drove up to Eskridge, and when I did that, I'm like, I'm just going to go downtown. I was curious if people were, in town and we're going to ride at, 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's 5:30, and I got down there, and it was eerie feeling, really, being downtown and not having a bunch of bikes there. Just because, for the past 7 or 8 years that I've ridden one level or another of Dirty Kanza, that first Saturday after Memorial Day, it's packed. And it was odd not having thousands of bikes along with thousands of, spectators there cheering people on as I rolled around the corner that morning before heading up to my ride. So it's definitely a different feel. And I wonder what September is going to be like when that gets around here.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to sharing the event here with Emporia, Kansas in September, getting to see all of our good friends just back at an event together. But Saturday, you still got a lot of miles in on the bike.
Yeah, so you mentioned riding the Macy's Apocalypse route, and our good friend Ryan Dudley up there in Eskridge always has a gravel ride for Macy's Pride, but was not able to have that this year. And so he put together these two routes, and dubbed one of them the Texas Apocalypse and the other one the Macy's Apocalypse route. And they are a 40 and an 80-mile route, and they're no joke. I did the 80-miler, and it had 5,500 feet of elevation, and I want to get up there and do that 40-miler too. I signed up for both of them, and the 40-miler, you're going to have 3,000 feet of elevation climbing and some rough roads.
Well, before you spoil everything about it, you filmed it too on Saturday, right? We released a video.
I had fun. Folks know about me, obviously, Minister of Gravel, that I'm a minister, and we've talked about that. And, I performed your wedding, and, that's my day job. But most people probably don't know that I went to college to actually be in media, to do filming, to do radio, to do editing, all that kind of stuff. And spent some time working radio in Chicago, and I genuinely love doing video work too and editing, but it has been 15, almost 20 years since I've done anything like that. And so I decided I was going to take just the iPhone out and do some editing and have some fun with it. And I had a blast, not just riding, but had a blast filming and trying to think out shots, and then getting to come back and sit in front of the computer trying to drink as much recovery drinks as I could to get myself feeling better and rehydrated. But it was a good time, and I hope folks enjoy the video.
Let's just take a look at that real quick, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Make sure you follow along with this video.
This is way too early to get up to do a fun ride. About ready to get the bike out. Everything else though, kitted up, well, except my feet. Got my shoes on. But getting ready to roll. Again, my hope is to hit the gravel here in really just over about 30 minutes. Just arrived here in Eskridge, Kansas. This is where I'll be riding my bike out of today. Again, doing the Macy's Apocalypse ride. Hardly 4 miles in, and so far I've had multiple animal sightings besides cows. I've had some hike-a-bike mud, water crossing, hundreds of spider webs. It's gonna be an awesome day. Hey guys, so I'm at a fun part. I don't know how much video here I'll get or not, but an iconic part of the Dirty Kanza route from last year, and will be on this year's too, is Little Egypt Road. So I'm about to climb out of Elma on Clapberg Ravine. I'm scared. It's no big deal. I've only been climbing for 7 minutes. I'll get there. Top's up that way, I think. Unless it's a false top, which I'm pretty sure it is. Trying to cool down. 74 miles in, 6 to go to get to Eskridge, but man, I forgot how big the hills are up in this area. Ryan put together an excellent course for that Macy's Apocalypse. 80 miles. I didn't even get to see what the final elevation was. Last check, I think I was over 5,500.
My guess is it might even been more than that. It was all said and done. Tough course, good time, amazing day, man. Just the experience. Forget the weather and everything else involved. Some awesome things that I got to see. Some awesome things that I got to witness out there.
Hey, great job on that video, Neil. I know you said it's been several years since you've edited video. I personally absolutely loved it. One, because I actually didn't have to shoot any of it. I didn't have to edit any of it. It's great to see you getting out and driving that passion and maybe reigniting a little bit of fire there for yourself. How was it, though, for you, where you usually ride a lot? You know, I've done a lot of the filming on trips, to have to slow down during a ride like this and film it.
It was tough. There's a couple times that some of the time I'm filming, there on the bike while I'm rolling, but to actually say, okay, you know what, I'm going to stop here because I like the scenery or the place that it's at, and make sure that I get video of myself, so it's not just pictures of gravel roads and the scenery, but actually some of me rolling. Man, that was tough to stop in those spots. And truth be told, I ride down to the bottom of a hill or stop at the top of a hill and run down the hill. I mean, that's what I did in Little Egypt there. And then stopped halfway up a climb and ran up to the top and set the phone up, and then ran back down to my bike, and then halfway through a climb had to start pedaling again to get up there. And so it presented challenges, but it was so fun, again, just to get to ride, to relax, but also get to ride just to tell the story and show the beautiful Flint Hills. Because as we said, people aren't here in town getting to do Dirty Kanza, and I know that folks love this area because of the scenery, and I wanted to be able to share that as part of the ride. So I'm glad I was able to get hopefully enough or nice, good shots that people could get to enjoy the scenery locally.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for filming it. What have you thought about, when you hear from some of the people? Actually, you ran into a couple people out there that have commented on the page. What's kind of the reaction been like?
It seems like everybody's enjoyed it, which is nice. Again, it's been so long since I've done that. But, I've seen a lot of folks, too, that they enjoy it. They enjoy seeing, again, the area. And that, to me, was important. One of the things that means, I guess, most to me, or the folks that matter most to me when it comes to responses, is my dad. And my dad, I shared the link with him to the video, and he went and watched it. And his first response was, man, it is beautiful out there. He's come down here and visited before, and he's come down here and cheered me on at the checkpoints of Dirty Kanza before, but he's never actually been out in the hills. He's never been out and seen those areas. And so to him, it was just, jaw-dropping to get to see some of those vistas and some of those kind of remote areas and just the natural beauty that is here in Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely with that. But I don't think your dad's the only person you've inspired to get outside lately. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the last episode. We just completed a bikepacking trip up to Redding Lake, and I believe you might have gone camping this week, too, with somebody else.
Yeah, so you and me, we went out and we just decided we wanted to kind of inspire people in general to go out and ride their bikes and to bike pack. And I mean, the reality is it's such a simple thing to do. You might not go as fast as you're used to going, but it's simple to get out there and just ride your bike and camp out and have a good time. Well, my son Lane wanted to see the video, and my daughter Abigail wanted to see the video. So we sat down a couple days ago and watched the videos, and Lane immediately wanted to go. Now, he can't ride his bike more than, a couple hundred feet. He can keep going, but he doesn't, stay up too long. There's no way he's going to ride up to the lake. So we just packed up the car and went out there and had a little night of camping. And he just wanted to get out and camp, wanted to get to experience that. So we went out and set up a fire and had a good time and enjoyed the same really beautiful sunset and things that we enjoyed on our bikepacking trip that folks can see in that video.
Yeah, absolutely. All of these rides and videos are posted on gravelguru.com, along with all of our social media has links to them, so make sure you get over there and check them out. But I think what we're kind of hinting at here is maybe just getting out and riding, trying to inspire some people to get out and ride. Speaking of that, there's been a lot of events kind of pop up online on your own or maybe with one or two friends. Go out, complete these challenges where we haven't been going to events with big groups right now. We had a chance to sit down and talk to our good buddy Josh from Orange Mud. Let's take a look. Hey, joined this afternoon by Josh Sprague over from Orange Mud. Josh, how you doing?
Hello. Doing fantastically today.
Great to have you join us from down in Texas today. Nice warm day here in Kansas. What's the weather like down there?
I'm going to go with 85 degrees, maybe 50% humidity out. It's a pretty dang nice day. Just got a 15, 16 mile bike ride in, and it was just perfect. Just enough wind to make it great. Just a little humidity to not make it unbearable. And yeah, I'm loving it for now. We'll see how I feel about it in about a month.
Sounds like a fantastic day down there. But you're joining us today to talk about a new event Orange Mud is launching online for the month of June. Why don't you just jump in and give us a little background?
Yeah, so with all the events canceled, we were talking about this a little bit before the call. I typically struggle to train for things when there isn't something to train for. Like just to go ride, I like to do. I like to just ride, as we're calling this ride. But that being said, I thought, man, there are so many of us that are not having events this year. The whole virtual side in running has been massive and crazy. And I always thought it was kind of honestly, I thought virtual races were silly. I really did. And we started one with our ambassador team that it was really neat. And it gave me a whole different perspective because I saw the level of engagement that people had within their own community that made it extra special. And I thought back to some of my rides and how, like, I finished DK 3 years ago with this girl. If you look her up on Instagram, her Instagram name is Buttcrack Jenny. If you know Jenny, she's like a legend in gravel cycling. But it's Buttcrack Jenny is her Instagram name, and I'm making fun of her. That's just what it is. But I finished the last hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, and Neil, come to think of it, that was 3 years ago. Neil, we were riding with you also. You remember this?
Nope, absolutely.
Yeah, so I forget. Yeah, and Buttcrack Jenny had her crazy glasses on. They had something coming up. I don't know, something on her helmet. Well, and yes, that's actually when I first met you. It's so funny how the world comes full circle. And and then so I was up. It was I had a blast riding with her. But then the race ended. I don't know where she went, and whatever. I didn't even get to say, hey, fun riding with you for 3 hours. And then I was doing the Hellcat 100 in Michigan a year later, and I rode with this girl off and on throughout the day. And I thought, God, you sound so familiar, but I can't place where I would know you from. And then all of a sudden it was, I think after the race was over, it hit me. I was like, I think that's the girl that I rode with in the dark during the Dirty Kanza. And then I went back and I looked at results, and sure enough, we finished minutes apart. And I remember we got split up there at the train track crossing or something. Long story short, I started seeing the virtual side of what we were doing with Run and how cool it was that we're integrating people, getting people to where they communicate with their team and they train and act and enjoy each other as a team. And then I related that to some of my own experiences like that, where you finish the race and you develop some bonds and kinships throughout racing sometimes that you lose immediately once you cross the finish line. You go off your way, your friends go off theirs, so their friends and family, and then that's where it stops. So I thought, you know what? If we can do the same thing on the cycling side, we can all get out there and do some insanely fun things like riding 50 or 100 or 200 miles all in straight one shot. But post about it in a Facebook group page, which we created, or a Strava group page that we created. Post about the training along the way. Maybe we can foster some more friendships and kinships while we're out there and trying to inspire and challenge one another in the process. So anyway, I know it's a lot, but that's basically where the gist of this came from. I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to do something epic with people that you also will be able to know who they are through the process and throughout the process and beyond the process.
So Josh, is this something that's available, for just gravel? Is this something that, roadies could jump on or mountain bike riders could jump on, or is this something you want really kind of folks sticking to the gravel community?
So the intent has been based upon gravel 100%. However, if you're, I'm just going to say dumb enough to ride this on a trainer, then I would literally make a trophy just for you. I promise you, if someone rides 200 miles straight on a trainer, no brakes, I'm talking, I don't even want you to pee. No, you can. maybe once. But no, you need to be wearing your bibs. You just need to do it. Suck it up, put a towel on the floor, go in the backyard. I will make a trophy for you if you do this on a trainer. I swear to God, I will. And then I'll also make that same trophy and I will put it on my mantle if you do that. Because I just want to like have a reflection of whoever it is that your face every day, that you are my new idol if you can ride 200 miles straight through on a So yeah, I mean, if you want to ride on a trainer, you want to ride on gravel, you want to ride on road, mountain bike would be awesome. 200 miles on a mountain bike would be incredible. But we just want people to get out and just ride and just have a good time. And we do have a 50 mile, 100 mile, and 200 mile category. The 50 mile, you get a patch and a t-shirt, I believe is how we have it set up. And then the 100 mile, you get a patch buckle, which is this new buckle I designed that holds a patch on it. It looks really cool. And it says just ride 100. And then it's a steel belt buckle. And then a t-shirt and a buff. Everybody gets a buff too. And then the 200 mile category, you get the patch buckle that says ride 200. You get a t-shirt, a hat, and a buff. So we're kind of having some fun with it on that side from a prize perspective. But yeah, most people so far, though, are signing up. It seems like most are gravelers. Most are signing up for the 100. I was really hoping we'd have more people sign up for the 200 because I'm going to do both. I figure why not? And I'm hoping to have more people suffer with me, but we'll see. June's not over yet. You two both, so, you're going to do it.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, so Matt, having said that, are we doing the 100 or are we doing the 200, buddy?
Ooh, there'll be 200 miles between the two of us.
That's a start. I won't hold it against you for too long.
Yeah, right. We also signed up to do 550 miles together in September. How'd that work for the three of us?
Worked good for Josh.
Works for me. Hey. Yeah, Neil got about 90 some.
I got about 60 some. Yeah. Yeah. It was a rough weekend.
You owe me. You guys conned me into that, and then you left me out for the wolves.
I think we did actually reach out to you on that idea, didn't we?
Yeah, that was 100% us. That was
100%. Like 2 weeks before the event. Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3. Yeah.
Neil got one night in. I slept the first night in my bed, already back at home after that event. So, yeah, we probably
sleep with the guy that was around me was always checking the weather, so it was tough to sleep. I don't know.
Josh, I think a good point about this is what we're doing right now, just having fun. How important is that for you as a virtual event promoter?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean that's what we do. As a brand, on the Orange Mud side, I don't really consider myself a virtual event promoter, but I guess we are at this point. But I hadn't really thought of it that way. But as a brand, the whole intent that we always try to drive home is that we're here for fun. That's what we want to do. That's what we want everybody to do. We want to see people push themselves to put a smile on themselves, and that's the whole goal of what we do. We're here to support the everyday rider, the everyday runner. We just want to get more people outside and take a breath of fresh air, especially in these crazy times we're in right now. On every single level, I think that's what we all need is a breath of fresh air. And I think it can do wonders for helping to clear our heads and make sure we think great and stay healthy and make sure we keep our sanity a little bit.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Josh, on that. Getting out, getting the fresh air. I know for me, a lot of it's been getting out in the evenings with Neil on some rides, just what that, maybe 20 miles of gravel does for you, that mental health. Real quick, since we haven't been having events and trade shows, kind of give us an overview about what Orange Mud is as a company. What type of products do you guys make, and where can they find out more information about Orange Mud?
Sure. Yeah, we're on orangemud.com or at Orange Mud in any social media channel. We design hydration packs for workout, for athletes, for runners and cyclists. And it's our core focus. It's what we love to do is make hydration packs to allow you to push your limits and go to super far distances, whether it's 5 miles or as many miles as you want to log on your bike. And we make fun accessories too. And we've been around for 8 years now. I personally have been riding and racing gravel and Ironman triathlons, trail run, ultra run, mountain bike. I mean, you name it. It's about everything. I like to do fun things. I like to explore the wild. And so 8 years in, we've been having a lot of fun. This year obviously is way different with COVID. It's shut down, most all events out there. And And it's one of the cornerstones, I think, of our growth as a brand is we sponsor hundreds of events per year. and we activate, meaning we have on-site presence at probably 50 to 70 of them. So we love that because we're able to people and say, hey, here's our pack. Here's why we made it. And here's how you're going to like it. Let's try it on. Let's chat. What are your needs? What are you looking for in hydration for whatever it is your challenge is? And, when you're reverted to only an online world, which has closed the gap via amazing tech over the years, it's still great, but it's still not the same. So we're definitely missing the one-on-one interaction that we're used to seeing at races. I've missed just being able to go out and ride my bike with a bunch of other like-minded people, for that matter. But we're hanging in. Yeah, it's a whole different adaptation, business model wise, but we're excited for 2021, I guess, to get back to normal. There's sometime. I don't know when that is. Maybe this year.
One thing, Josh, about back to the event really quick. Is there just a link to sign up? Where do folks go if they're interested in that? I know that the cost is, for everything that you mentioned, that folks can get the headwear, the shirts, hats, buckles, the patch buckles and everything. Where can folks go and sign up for that if they want to participate?
Yeah, it's sure. Yeah, it's under Run Sign Up under Just Ride, JUSTRIDE. But runsignup.com that's the registration portal that we use for this. And then, you just search just JUST ride and it'll pop right up. And then, once you sign up, you'll get a email from us and invite you to the private Facebook group called Just Ride. And again, Strava, and we already have a lot of activity going on in there. And I expect it to get pretty crazy here as the month unfolds.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today, Josh. We'll have all of those links in the show description. We'll share it in the show notes. We look forward to seeing all these activities out there. We'll jump in the Facebook group, too, and check it out. But thanks for joining us here today.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Get your gravel on.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show, Josh. We look forward to checking out Just Ride. What's your thoughts on Neil?
I definitely think maybe the 100's the way to go for me. I don't think I could crank out 200 this year. I wasn't planning on doing 200 for Dirty Kanza anyways, so but a 100-mile ride would be nice. I know you and me have talked maybe about even doing one overnight to kind of keep a little bit cooler with our temps getting up like they usually do here in the month of June. But I think I could handle 100 right now. And again, I think it's just going out, riding your bike, just having fun. I think, at least I hope, that maybe if there's a silver lining in all of this COVID stuff, it's that we've learned to have fun on the bike again, and ultimately just ride, as opposed to having to feel like every time we go out we're having to sprint and push as hard as we can and push to threshold, for as long as we can, so that we can, maybe finish 300 spots behind the leaders at Dirty Kanza or some other event. So I hope folks are doing this, and as they do it, they have fun with it.
Absolutely agree with you, Neil. It's about getting out, having fun. Look forward to trying out Just Ride. Thank you to everybody that followed us online here on episode 507. Make sure you like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and stay tuned for the next episode.